President of SEIU 32BJ, Manny Passreich. Speaker Carl Hasty. And now, please rise as we welcome the 57th Governor of the great state of New York, Governor Kathy Hochul.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I got to start. 32. BJ! All right. I'm Manny Passreich, and I'm the president of SEIU 32BJ. We're the largest property service union in the country, and we are proud to represent 8,000 workers at LaGuardia and JFK. Let's give it up for the workers who do this every single day. We are standing here in what's now one of the nation's most beautiful airports. The renovations have turned LaGuardia into a first-class transportation hub. And at the same time, and what's most important to me, is New York State has invested in the workers who make LaGuardia and JFK work, and that's what we're here to celebrate, the new and improved Healthy Terminals Act. Let's give it up for that. This is a life-changing and life-saving legislation that's going to make a difference for working people. And I just want to say, in this room today are the workers who keep our airports safe and clean and running smooth every day. We're the wheelchair attendants who escort and loved ones through the day of travel. Any wheelchair attendants here? Yeah, there we go. We have the baggage handlers who lift and manage our luggage and get us through our journey. There we go. Give it up for the passenger service agents who guide us and support us through the unforeseen travel agents, and the cleaners like Christiana, who you're going to hear from shortly, who ensure that the terminals we sit in and wait in are clean and spotless. And while these workers, members of SEIU 32BJ and Unite Here, are doing the hard work of our airports, I do want to take a second to thank them for the organizing that they've done, the fighting that they've done for more than a decade now to get us where we are today. Many of the leaders of this fight are in this room today. Their work is a testament to the fact that while it takes time to build solidarity and union power, we can make a difference. 32! BJ! Again, you all have worked tirelessly for years to secure better wages, better working conditions, and better benefits. Over the past few years, we've transformed these jobs that were once at $10.10 an hour or even lower for tip minimum wage into jobs that have a path to $25 an hour, a path to health care, and now a path to paid days off. Let's give it up for that. I really can't say it enough. This is life-changing. Guaranteed paid vacation days, 2 to 5 weeks for the first time that New York airport workers can go and take vacation with their families. Many take a week vacation for the first time in their careers at these airports. People can go to graduations, family reunions, or just take time off, well-needed rest without worrying whether they can pay the rent. This latest win also secures health insurance so that people know, especially in these troubled times when health insurance is being taken away from so many workers, that they can feel secure that they're going to have the health insurance they need to take care of themselves if they get sick. And the Healthy Terminals Act means that 15,000 airport workers are going to have all of those benefits, and that's incredible. Let's give it up for that. So I am very thankful to the people in this room that have fought to make this happen, but I also want to say that we would not be here today without the support of our governor, Governor Kathy Hochul. Governor, you have been an incredible ally in this fight, an ally in boosting the minimum wage for airport workers, and by 2035, we are on a path to $25 an hour. Let's give it up for that. when we get our raise next month, we're going to say thank you, Kathy Hochul, for the raise that's coming next month. And I'll just say this is a governor who's recognized that a commitment to workers is a commitment to retaining and recognizing the work that you ever do, the experience you bring, the safety and security, and just the hard work you do to make these airports run. That's the recognition that we appreciate. And also to say this is a governor who's committed to addressing the affordability crisis in the city and the state. And there's no better way to do it than raising the wage. Am I right? So listen, it's critical. It's critical to raise the wage so we can keep up with the cost of living. At a time when government's looking to take away health care from millions of workers, at a time right now we know 15,000 workers can feel secure that they're going to have the health insurance they need. When the federal government is attacking the role of immigrants, a majority of the people who make this airport work are immigrants from other countries. So let's just give it up for the immigrant communities that make this airport work. So again, thank you, Governor, for everything you've done. I also want to thank the Speaker, Carl Hastie, who's with us today. Thank you. Without your support, let's give it up for Carl. Without your support and the Majority Leader, Andrea Stewart-Cousins, we would not be where we are today either. You have been a staunch supporter of labor, staunch supporter of working people, a staunch supporter of airport workers. And, you know, in today's world where people focus on the negatives, people focus on the controversies, people focus on the things that don't get done, this is a great example from the Speaker to the Majority Leader to the Governor that got things done under the radar that impacted 15,000 workers, and we're here today to celebrate that, so let's give it up for all of them. I also want to celebrate the Assembly Member Alicia Heineman, who was the original sponsor of this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Your advocacy on behalf of airport workers is deeply appreciated, as it was through COVID, and your advocacy for essential workers' health care. We appreciate everything that you've done. So again, thank you to the airport workers who spearheaded this. Thank you to the Speaker. Thank you, Assembly Member. And I want to say just deep, deep thank you to the Governor, who was so instrumental to make this happen, a true friend of 32BJ, a true friend of working people. Let's give it up for the Governor of New York, Kathy Hochul.
Good morning, friends.
Morning.
I was told this is a rally to allow you to give thanks to me for making sure we got this done, to make sure that you have no more insecurity about health care, to know that you're going to get the wages you need to support your families. But I'm going to turn this around because, my friends, this is about you. This event is about you. It's about finally giving you the recognition that you've been denied for such a long time. And I know a little bit about this because I spent a lot of time. And I'm going to see if this works. Does this work? Just tell me if this works. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes.
Well, I wanted to be able to come out and see all of you. Can we turn this up? Crank it up. I've got something to say here.
Is it on? Let me see. Testing one. No.
I want one that works, okay? Okay? This is not to thank me. It's to thank all of you, because you're the ones who make this place work. If you were not here, we'd not be able to welcome millions of people here every single year. You make sure they get here safely. You transport them. You take care of the luggage. You feed them. You clean up. And you are the ones who make this happen in a profound way that I, as your governor, am so proud of. You need to know that. I see you, I hear you, I understand you. And sometimes in life you have these jobs where you feel like you're taken for granted. You're just out there waking up early in the morning, working long days, leaving your kids, good weather, incredible heat. You had to come out in the last few days. Sometimes it's bitter cold out here. And you know what? You think no one's thinking about you. You're just doing your jobs. That is wrong, because I understand how important you are. So to 32BJ, I thank you, thank you, thank you for all you do. Let's give yourselves a round of applause. Unite 100, I thank you. Jose Maldonado, let's give a round of applause for Jose. BJ! 32? BJ! Thought I could do that too. But first of all, let's talk about what leadership looks like. I mean, Manny and I have become very close. We talk about all kinds of things, our families, our challenges, our love of the working men and women of this state and his union. He just is so passionate about the work that you do. And I thank him for that, because leadership does make a difference. And Jose Maldonado, we've worked very closely together. I want to thank you for standing up to fight for your members every single day. You also have another fighter. You have another fighter, Carl Heastie. The Speaker of the entire New York State Assembly has joined us here today because he cares about you as well. Assemblymember Alicia Heinman, I want to thank her for her service as well. And fighting for all of you. Well, let me tell you something. I haven't had a lot of glamorous jobs. I love being governor, but I started out making pizza and chicken wings. Hey, I'm pretty good at it. Anybody make food out there? All right. How are your chicken wings? Real nice and hot and spicy? All right. We're going to have a chicken wing cook-off sometime. I used to make $1.75 an hour. Oh, yeah, that was low. That was low. And worked long hours, all day long, into the night. There's just a couple of us. A lot of times you felt like you're just doing all this and nobody cares. And sometimes someone would leave a tip on the table, maybe 25 cents. Now that's kind of insulting, because it means they thought about it, right? And they still wouldn't even give you a good-sized tip. So I've come from that experience of working hard, kind of unsung, getting the job done every single day with me today, because I know that I'll never take people like that or any of you for granted. So when we have an opportunity to say, you know what? These people work hard, they sacrifice, why aren't we paying them more? Because everything is going up. We had the pandemic. You showed up during the pandemic. Everybody else is staying home nice and cushy, zooming into life, and you showed up to work. Right. I will never forget what you did during that time. Yes, and also, you come out of the pandemic. It's going to be fine again, right? Everything's good. What happens? We get slammed with inflation. No one counted on that. You're working hard, you get a paycheck, and the cost of everything sucking more money out of your pocket. So I've also worked hard, not just with the Healthy Terminals Act that you fought for and you won, making sure that you have health insurance that means something, but also, as I talked about my State of the State address just a few months ago, said, your family is my fight. I may be New York's first mom governor, first mom grandmother, too. Okay, there's another one on the way. She's due in 2 weeks. The baby's due, too. So if you don't see me in 2 weeks, I'm holding a baby. But I also said, my family struggled. My parents lived in a trailer park. Dad worked at the steel plant. Grandma had 8 kids in a little tiny house. Immigrants, poor immigrants who came here in search of a better life. That's my family's story. We didn't have a lot. We used to buy our clothes at the used clothing stores. We didn't have that nice, fancy stuff. Had to put our clothes on layaway. You could never walk out with the clothes you wanted to wear because you had to come back in a few more months when your mom could have paid for it. I understand that to my core. And I also know, as a mom, how expensive it is when you've got little kids, right? They don't tell you that. Like, diapers, formula, they outgrow their clothes every 3 months. Literally, the clothes say 0 to 3, 3 to 6. I'm not making this up, right? They just keep growing. The little sneakers, the backpacks you eventually need, right? You're shaking your head. Yeah. You've got kids? How expensive are your kids? Very expensive. Anybody else got kids out here? Okay. So we said, working with Carl Heastie and unregistered cousins, let's put some money back in your pockets. For anyone with a child under the age of 4, how does $1,000 extra every year sound to you? Yeah. Children older, $500 per child for you. Covering the cost of school lunches and breakfast. Isn't it a pain to have to make the sandwiches every morning and you find out you're out of peanut butter? What are you going to do? I've been there. We're going to cover the cost of school lunches and breakfast, $1,600 a child. That's money back in your pockets. The largest middle-class rate tax cut in 70 years. More money for our middle-class workers who are struggling so hard. And also, because I mentioned inflation, We collected more money in sales tax because everything costs more. Think about that. We weren't budgeting for that. For once, we had a little bit of a windfall. I said, oh, this is nice. Everybody's saying, oh, spend it over here, spend it over here. I said, no, you know we're going to spend it on? The people who gave us that extra money. You. That came out of your pockets, right? So let's put $400 back in your pockets and say that is your money.
Yes.
So we're going to continue fighting for you. You've got great union leadership. I'm going to make sure that we're always going to have your back because you have had mine. And I take nothing for granted in life. And I'm going to make sure your family understands that affordability is not a new buzzword for me. It's something I've lived with my whole life, understanding the people who struggle. And I'm looking at a lot of faces from around the world. I love the diversity of this place. And what's happening to our immigrant families right now is sickening. And I've called it out. And yes, we will help the administration in Washington get rid of all the bad criminals and the murderers and the rapists and everybody said he was going to get rid of. Are you okay with that? I'm okay with that.
Yes.
Right, we got to keep our communities safe. But there are so many families that are being separated right now. People following the rules, going into the courthouse with legal status, coming out with it being taken away from them, and now they're criminals in the eyes of people in Washington. We have to stand up, my friends. Our values are under attack right now. And you can count on me as the governor of a vastly fascinating place, full of people from around the world who just came here for a better life like my grandparents did. So I'm proud to be your governor. I'll keep making sure that we can find policies and decisions that are going to help lift you up and your families, because that is my #1 job, keeping you safe and making life in this state more affordable for all of you. I thank you for all you do. I'm grateful. Let's give yourselves another round of applause. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, let me bring up Si se puede, si se puede, si se puede, si se puede, si se puede. 5 years of high school Spanish. Yeah, it took me an extra year. I get it.
We could do it in English.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are so fortunate to have someone who not just fights for you, but delivers for you. Let me tell you one issue that Carl Heastie was so adamant about. The fact that if anyone gets laid off from their jobs or there's a strike, you got paid paltry amount of money, about $500 a week. Who can live on that? Carl Heastie said, Governor, we got to do something about this. He says, we have to be able to change what is going on right now with our unemployment insurance fund. Take money from our state reserves and pay this off. So you know what? If you're ever out of work, it'll be $336 more a week, over $800 if you have to be on strike or you end up losing your job. How does that sound to you? Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up to Carl Heastie, who fought for that. Ladies and gentlemen, our speaker.
Thank you, Governor. You know, sometimes when you're the speaker or the governor, the staff prepares the remarks for you, and sometimes you don't want to use those remarks. Sometimes you go and you just want to read a room and just say what comes to your head. But first, I do want to acknowledge we have another amazing assembly member. It's her first year, but she's already a veteran, and Queens' own Lorinda Hooks is here as well. So, you know, in this beautiful airport, you know, I've always been one that I prefer to travel out of LaGuardia because it's much closer to my house. No offense, Alicia, about JFK. But all of you are just as important as the pilots and the flight attendants and the clerks. You're all part of the machinery that makes coming to LaGuardia Airport and our airports here in the New York area great. And when I became speaker in 2015, we adopted a families first agenda, and we tried to concentrate on a lot of things: wages, childcare, making sure that families were able to educate their children. And it's kind of sad that we actually have to fight to get people a fair wage and benefits. I mean, that's the least that we should be doing in what is the richest country and greatest country in the world. So I just want to say to all of you, thank you because I know a lot of times people walk by you, don't say anything, don't even acknowledge the hard work that you do at these airports. But I want to give all of you a big thank you for those who don't say thank you. And I'm going to make it a point to myself every time I'm in the airport to thank people, even if they're not helping me, for the tremendous support that you give to have the services that we get here in the airport. And I want to thank Manny, who's a tremendous leader of 32BJ, and I'm going to mention Jose and his leadership of two great unions that really, with two great presidents that stick up for their members. But really, just congratulations. And this is just, I don't even want to say well-deserved. It's like it should have happened a long time ago. And we really need to give it up to Alicia Hyman, who was the bill sponsor, the original bill sponsor back in 2020. Sometimes members come with a tremendous idea, and it kind of just takes hold. And you have a governor, and you have an assembly, and you have a Senate. Well, I'll speak on behalf of the Senate that really cares about working people. And for me, it means a lot. When I first got elected to the assembly, I didn't get on my first year, but the second year I wanted to be on the labor committee. And then there was only 3 committees that I ever dreamed about, were dream committees. Ways and Means, which I was never going to get because we had an incredible Denny Farrell. Higher Ed, because I was always fascinated by higher learning. But labor, and thankfully I was able to be the labor chair right before I became speaker, and being a member of 3 unions in my life. I was a member of 1707, the Organization of Staff Analysts, OSA, and DC 37. And that stuff never leaves you. It's like when you become the speaker, it's like labor never left me. And so we will always speak up and try to fight for working families, and knowing that union jobs, good union jobs, are the fastest path to the middle class. So thank you again for everything that y'all have done. And now I'm going to turn it over to Unite's incredible leader and champion, Jose Maldonado.
Se puede! The thing we're going third or fourth is that when you look at your paper, you got to go like this because it's all over, because they said everything that I was going to say. Thanks a lot, guys. But for me, it's a real honor. My name again is Jose Maldonado. I'm the president of Unite here, Local 100. If you've ever been in the sports and arenas in New York or New Jersey, that's our members. If you play golf, last time I said that nobody played golf. Anybody play golf? Right, it's not our cup of tea. But our members serve the people that play golf. We have 24 country clubs in Westchester County. Of course, if you've ever been to any airports, we have our members out there, right? We do your food, we clean, we do all the things that I'm not going to repeat because everybody said that, right? So we're the food service industry. Now, I was very impressed when the president said, 32. I was like, oh wow, I have to come up with something different. We have our own chant, but then one of my members texted me, hey, President, won't you do the rap song that you did for us in the convention? I said, you crazy? The media's here. But he says, if you don't do it, I'm going to talk to you again. I said, okay, we'll do it. So it's not going to be like 32BJ, but Unite, what's Unite here? Yeah. So I'm going to do the rap, and when I point, you say, right, you say here, ready? So here we go, don't lie, right? 2 years ago, a friend of mine said some MC, wait. I need some music. 2 years ago, a friend of mine asked me to say some MC rhymes. The rhymes were fresh and they went this way. UNITE. Yeah. Now everybody, UNITE. Yeah. UNITE. Yeah. UNITE. Yeah. Unite here. So we're 32BJ and we're 100. It takes red to make purple, it makes purple to make red. We're one union, right? So when I say union, you say power. Union! Power. Union! Power. Union! Power. Union! Power. Union! Power. Union! Power. And because of that union power that we have today, and because of our governor, today, not only a lot of things are changing in our community, not only things are changing, are we safer? Not only, we have changed real lives. Guys, think about it. We're gonna have free or affordable health insurance. Thank you, Governor. Thank you so much. You guys don't know how important that is. You're gonna have holidays, time off. That's big. Not all New Yorkers have that. I hope that we can expand that to all New York, but let's start here, right? A lot of people are still on minimum wage, but we have to make a change. We have to make that change, and it starts here in the airport, and it starts with leaders like Governor Hochul right here. Let's give a hand to Governor Hochul. I said it before, and I said it again, right? Women are the best in leadership. We need more women in leadership. I want to personally thank my friend Susie Lozada. In 30 years, this is a shame. Susie Lozada, give her a hand, Susie Lozada right here. In 30 years, this woman has been fighting for 30 years. In our organization, it was the first time in 30 years that we have a woman in power, that we have a Muslim woman. And the 4 years that I had Susie to run for me, we grew by 6,000 members and improved lives all across New York and New Jersey. Se puede! Se puede! But it takes vision. It's not only vision, it takes a team. It takes surrounding yourself with powerful people. And that's what Kathy Hochul has done. So when it's time to walk the walk, to knock on those doors, let's not forget who put us there. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you.
So, I want to introduce her.
Yeah. So I have the honor of introducing a 32BJ member, a cleaner at the airport, Cristiana Mendez. Let's give it up to Cristiana.
Gracias una vez más, estamos aquí para un propósito. Mi nombre es Cristiana Méndez, estoy aquí por muchos años y estoy aquí orgullosa de ver el cambio que hemos dado. Gracias a Teddy, tú, BJ, porque hemos logrado y seguiremos logrando cada una de nuestros propósitos. Thank you, okay?
Gracias.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tamika. I will be interpreting for Miss Christina. I work from JFK. I'm in passenger service, and I'm excited to be here.
Thank you. Primeramente, excúsenme. Gracias, mil gracias por estar aquí. Le agradecemos que haya tenido su tiempo para dedicárnoslo a nosotros. Gracias.
I'm sure most of you have been here before, and I know that a lot has changed in recent years.
Estamos orgullosos de estar aquí y seguiremos orgullosos. Estamos seguros de la mayoría que hemos estado aquí, cómo ha cambiado este aeropuerto en los últimos días.
I am very proud of my 24 years working here and my contribution to these changes. With my co-workers, we have been working to improve the experience of LaGuardia for everyone, the travelers, the workers as well.
Estamos trabajando aquí todos los días para asegurar un viaje tranquilo para todas las personas viajando dentro y fuera de nuestra ciudad. Mantenemos el aeropuerto limpio, seguro y eficiente cuando las personas van de vacaciones para relajarse, para recuperarse, para estar con sus familias. Pero hasta ahora no hemos tenido el tiempo garantizado para nosotros.
Every day we are here to ensure a smooth trip for everyone coming in and out of our amazing city. We maintain a clean, safe, and efficient airport when people are on their way on vacation, to relax, recover, and to be with their families. But now, we have it for ourselves.
Además, hemos protegido nuestro seguro médico con todos los ataques del Medicaid y otros programas. Esto es muy importante. Otra victoria importante en enero. La ley va a incluir aún más a mis compañeros, incluyendo a los trabajadores, por medio tiempo. La salud es un derecho fundamental. Uno que hoy hemos protegido. Okay?
In addition, we have protected our health care with all the attacks on Medicaid and other programs. This is very important. We also want more protections for more workers. In January, the law will apply to everyone, including my colleagues who are part-timers. Health is fundamentally a right. On today, we have a protection.
La lucha sigue. Esperamos el progreso de las negociaciones en el año viniente. Cuando vayamos a negociar estos términos en nuestros contratos, pero hoy sabemos que cuando luchamos, ganamos.
The fight continues. We look forward to the process of negotiation in the coming years, where we negotiate these terms in our contracts, but today, when we fight, we win.
32. Si luchamos, ganamos. Gracias, gracias. Gracias, mamá. Gracias.
I also want to recognize the one and only Commissioner of the Department of Labor for the great state of New York. Get on your feet and stand up and give a round of applause for Roberta Reardon. She is your great champion in our administration. Thank you for coming, everybody.